In this video, I added an offensive legend and a defensive legend to every team. Now this is a sequel video to the one we did where we added one legend to every team's weakest position. So we're going to keep everyone we added from that video, but this time we're going to add best player available on the other side of the football. Quick recap on what happened in that video. If you haven't watched it yet, I'll link it down below. But I'm going to spoil the result right here, man. The Buffalo Bills ended up winning their first Super Bowl in franchise history after bringing back Ruben Brown, 97 overall offensive guard. That helped Josh Allen hoist the Lombardi, and now they're going to try to do it again. Now we use MaddenRatings.weebly.com to get these official attributes and ratings for these players. They go back to Madden 99, so you had to get everyone that is in that Madden or later. And we can't use a player that's currently on the team. So without further ado, why not start with Buffalo, the defending champions of this series? Ruben Brown, of course, at right guard. So they had to add someone on defense. And their highest overall defensive player in Madden history is Bruce Smith, the defensive end, 99 overall from Madden 99. So now they're an 85 overall. You move Vaughn to outside linebacker, and you're going to see why that's not the actual Vaughn in just a little bit. But first, quick stop in the NFC. The Bears added Khalil Mack in the first video, so now they need to add someone on offense. And their highest overall in Madden history on offense was Olin Kreutz, 98 overall from Madden 07. Caleb's O-line gets a nice boost, and they're an 86 overall now. Cincinnati already upgraded their O-line in the first video with Eric Steinbeck at left guard, so they add someone on defense. Geno Atkins, 97 overall D-tackle from Madden 25, part of the 2010s All-Decade team. The Denver Broncos added Shannon Sharp in the weakest position video, and they had three guys who were a 99 overall on defense in their Madden history: Neil Smith, Champ Bailey, and Von Miller. So he had to spin a wheel, and you already know who it's landing on: Von Miller. Back in Denver, 99 overall. Nice upgrade for the Broncos defense. Cleveland added Jeff Garcia in the last vid, so of course they had someone on defense this time. And their highest overall on that side of football was Joe Hayden, 95 overall cornerback from Madden 15. They're an 88 overall now, looking to make some noise. Baker's O-line already got a boost in the first vid with Carl Nix at left guard. And on defense, they had to spin a wheel because Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks were both 99 overall at different points. And the wheel decided to give them a boost to the D-line. Warren Sapp, 99 overall D-tackle, is going to be right next to Vita Vea. Arizona had Rodney Hudson, 92 overall center, so they had to add someone on defense. And their highest overall option was Adrian Wilson, 97 overall safety from Madden 08. And they have arguably the best safety duo in the league now with him and Buddha. In video number 1, the Chargers added Jamal Williams at D-tackle, 98 overall. And on offense, they had three 99s to choose from: Lorenzo Neal, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Antonio Gates. The wheel decided to bless them with one of the best blocking fullbacks of all time: Lorenzo Neal, 99 overall, leading the way for Edwards and Dobbins. But will that be enough to steal the division from the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs, who added Willie Roaf before and will now add Justin Houston now, 97 overall from Madden 17. They're up to an 89 overall. Last video, the Colts added Robert Mathis at outside linebacker, and they had to spin a wheel to see who they'll bring back on offense. It was between Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning, both 99 overall, and the wheel decided to give them a brand new wide receiver one: Marvin Harrison Sr. from Madden 04. Nice upgrade to the Colts wide receiver core. The Commanders added Randy Thomas at left guard, and now they're going to stick with the trenches upgrade on the defensive side of football: Albert Hainsworth, 99 overall D-tackle from Madden 10. They might have the best D-tackle depth in the league. The Cowboys already upgraded their D-line with Leroy Glover, so now it's time for an offensive upgrade, and you can't do much better than Larry Allen, 99 overall from Madden 03. Now they easily have the best guard duo in the league. Tua's O-line already got upgraded with Mike Pouncey, and now their D-line's gonna get upgraded with Jason Taylor, 98 overall from Madden 09. And the Dolphins Dolphins are an 88 overall squad. Philly's weakest position was guard, so they added Evan Mathis in the first vid. And now they add their best defensive player in Madden history, Brian Dawkins, Weapon X, 99 overall from Madden 04. And now Philly's up to an 89 overall. ATL already added Keenan Forney at left guard, and they had 3 options to choose from on defense: Patrick Kearney, Keith Brooking, and John Abraham, all 95 overall. At some point in the wheel, decided to bless them with a defensive end, John Abraham, 95 overall from Madden 10. He will now be on the other side of Grady Jarrett. The Niners already had one of the best rosters in the league. They added Joe Staley at tackle in the first video, and they had 2 studs to choose from on defense, Ken Norton Jr. and Patrick Willis, both 99 overall. And the wheel decided to give them the son of the former boxer Ken Norton, who was the first and only player to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. So here he is from Madden 99. San Fran is now a 90 overall, and Norton will be trying to get them over the hump. However, the Giants not only have Michael Strahan, a guy that knows how to win, but they had to spin a wheel on offense. It was between Jeremy Shockey, Chris Snee, and Eli Manning. Believe it or not, the wheel decided to give them a brand new quarterback. Much needed upgrade, Eli, the 2-time Super Bowl champion, 97 overall from Madden 13. We'll see if he can work a miracle. Speaking of miracles, I have a dream that we could get to 1,000 likes within 24 hours. I don't know if it's possible on this channel, but a guy can dream. Anywho, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Vince Manawai, the left guard, was who they brought back in video 1. And now they're gonna bring back a 99 overall defensive end, Tony Brackens from Madden 99. That front seven's looking really good. They're up to an 87 overall. Video 1 saw the Jets bring back Mo Lewis to their linebacker core, and now they bring back one of the best centers of his generation, Kevin Mawai, 98 overall from Madden 06. Given more time for Aaron Rodgers to pass the football, the Detroit Lions added Ernie Sims in the last video, so it was time to give them a beast on offense. They had 2 to choose from, Barry Sanders and Megatron. Calvin Johnson, both 99 overall at various points, but the wheel decided to give Jared Goff another wide receiver. So here he is from Madden 13, 25, and 15. He was a 99 in all 3 of them. And now Detroit probably has the best wide receiver duo in the league. Well, actually, there's one more team that might have something to say about it. In video 1, we brought back Nick Barnett for the Green Bay Packers, so it was time to bless them with an offensive upgrade. You had 3 to choose from: Mark Chmura, Aaron Rodgers, and Devontae Adams. And it actually ended up landing on the tight end from Madden 99. New target for Jordan Love to throw to. Superman is back in Carolina. They already bought him back last time, and now they had a 99 overall on defense, Luke Kuechly from Madden 17 and Madden 19, leading the way for the Panthers once again. Bruce Armstrong was already bought back for New England, so why not bring back a former DPOY, Stephon Gilmore, 99 overall CB. And don't look now, but that Patriots secondary is looking pretty good. The Raiders already bought back Khalil Mack on the defensive side, so on offense they had to bring back someone by the name of Randy Moss, 99 overall from Madden 06. So yeah, remember that one team I was talking about that could rival the Detroit Lions? Yeah, I think Moss and Devontae is a pretty good wide receiver core. Now the Rams bought back Will Witherspoon in the first video, but on offense there was no question who they were bringing back, one of the best running backs in NFL history, Marshall Faulk, 99 overall from Madden 02 and 03. And their offense is probably gonna look a lot like the greatest show on turf. In the first video, the Ravens brought back Haloti Ngata to their defense, so now they bring back one of the best tackles in NFL history. Jonathan Ogden was a 99 overall in 4 different Maddens. Good luck stopping the Ravens. The Saints already brought back Leroy Glover to their D-line, and they had a 3-way tie to see who they'll bring back on offense: Willie Roaf, Michael Thomas, and Drew Brees. And luckily for them, they really needed this. Okay, now they're bringing back a quarterback that was a 99 in Madden 11 and Madden 19. Breezes has plenty of talent to work with. Let's see how far he can take New Orleans. In the first vid, the Seahawks brought back Max Unger at center, and they had 2 monsters to choose from on defense: Bobby Wagner and Richard Sherman. both 99 overall, but the wheel told them to upgrade their secondary. Richard Sherman, new CB1 in Seattle. The Steelers already bought back Marvel Smith at tackle, so now their defense gets a nice upgrade in the secondary. Troy Polamalu, 99 overall from Madden 12. They have multiple DPOYs on their defense. There are 91 on that side of the ball, and I guess we'll see if defense wins championships. The Texans already bought back Jadeveon Clowney, and not that they needed it, but their offense is gonna get a nice upgrade in the form of DeAndre Nuke Hopkins, 99 overall from Madden 20, and they might have the best wide receiver core with him, Diggs, Dell, and Collins. Stroud's gonna have a field day. Tennessee already bought back Michael Griffin at safety, and now they bring back someone on offense that's one of the few players that have rushed for 2,000 yards, Chris Johnson, CJ2K, 99 overall from Madden 11. And then finally the Vikings brought back Randall McDaniel in the first video, and they're going to improve their trenches on the other side of the ball as well. Jared Allen, 99 overall DN from Madden 11, and they're up to an 86 overall. Every team has added a player on offense and defense, and this is the deepest we've seen the NFL. I mean, there's just so much talent. Look, we're still scrolling. We haven't even reached the end of the 99s, people. This is really anyone's season to win. I don't know who to predict to make it from either conference. Finally, we get to the 98s. As we keep on scrolling, I'm just going to say mine. I think the AFC, I like the Dolphins a lot. I mean, we just scrolled by Ramsey. You add Jason Taylor to that D-line. Their defense looks insane. Their roster, top to bottom. And then the NFC, we're looking at the team that I'm going to choose, okay? The Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra with Megatron. And you still have that great run game, phenomenal line. Laporta at tight end. I just love that team. I'm going Detroit versus Miami. The Ravens go undefeated. I told you, man, that offense would be nasty. Ogden helps them not lose one game. Dolphins go 14-3. So my AFC pick's still in it. Colts, Bills, Chiefs, Jets, and Texans get the last spot. Broncos with Vaughn and Sharp don't make it. Chargers with Lorenzo go 9-8. Jaguars 9-8. Steelers 8-9 with a 91 defense. Titans, Bengals, Patriots, Raiders, and Browns all miss out. In the NFC, the Cowboys go 14-3, get the 1 seed. Niners right behind them. The Bucks, Vikings, Saints, the Lions. My NFC pick finished under 500, but they still made the playoffs. That's all that matters. The Rams also get in there with Marshall Faulk. Eagles go 7-10 with Brian Dawkins. Panthers with Cam and Kuechly go 7-10. Falcons, Giants, Packers, Bears, and Seahawks all 6-11. Commanders 4-13, and Cardinals only 2-15. Shouldn't have to do this, but I'm going to anyways, just to show you there's no forced wins or nothing. Here's the Lions schedule. They struggled a little bit in the middle and towards the end on a 3-game losing streak. Meanwhile, the Dolphins started off with an L, but then won a lot of games from there, man. Had a nice long win streak in the middle. Khalil Mack on the Bears, 8.5 sacks. He led them. And Olin Kreutz only allowed 3 sacks on the season. Steinbeck on the Bengals allowed 7 sacks. And Geno was tied for the most sacks with 6. Reuben Brown only allowed 3 sacks on Josh Allen. Meanwhile, Bruce Smith had 21.5 sacks. By far the most in Buffalo. Shannon Sharp, 63 catches, 674 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He had the most catches in Denver. And of course, Von Miller had the most sacks with 15.5. Jeff Garcia, 28-8 touchdown reception ratio, 3,700 yards, 69% completion percentage. Joe Hayden had 5 deflections, 82 tackles, no interceptions though. Carl Nicks led up 6 sacks in Tampa Bay, and Warren Sapp had the most sacks on the Bucks with 13. Hudson allowed 6 sacks on Kyler, and Adrian Wilson didn't get any interceptions, but he had 5 deflections, a forced fumble, a sack, and 8 tackles for a loss, along with 81 tackles. Jamal Williams with the 3rd most sacks on the Chargers with 4.5. Lorenzo Neal had 6 touchdowns on 6 carries and helped Edwards get 12 touchdowns and 8 yards shy of 1,000. Willie Rofe allowed 5 sacks on Patrick Mahomes. And Justin Houston had the 2nd most sacks on the Chiefs with 9.5. He also had an INT. Robert Mathis most sacks on the Colts with 9. And Marvin Harrison, 83 for 1,200 yards and 11 receiving touchdowns. Nasty season. Randy Thomas only allowed 1 sack sack on his rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels. And Albert Hainsworth had 4.5 sacks, but 20 tackles for a loss. Leroy Glover, 15 sacks. Second on the Cowboys, 24 tackles for a loss. Might be the most in the league. And Larry Allen only allowed 2 sacks all season on Dak Prescott. Pouncey only allowed 5 sacks on Tua. Meanwhile, Jason Taylor almost broke the record, 22.5 sacks for the Dolphins. Evan Mathis did his job, only 2 sacks allowed on Jalen Hurts. B-Doc didn't have an interception, but he did have 2 forced fumbles, a pass deflection, 48 tackles. Forney on the Falcons only allowed 4 sacks on Cousins. And John Abraham had the second most sacks for ATL with 5. Joe Staley only 1 sack allowed all season. And Ken Norton Jr. led the Niners in tackles. He also had 5 tackles for a loss, 3 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. 19 sacks for Michael Strahan, close to his record. Meanwhile, Eli had a decent season, 21 touchdowns, 9 INTs, 3,500 yards. He also rushed for 4 more touchdowns on the ground. Vince Menawai did his job, 2 sacks allowed all season. And Tony Bracken, 16.5 sacks for the Jags, along with 18 tackles for a loss. Mo Lewis, second most sacks on the Jets with 12. He had 15 tackles for a loss. And Kevin Mawai only allowed 4 sacks on Aaron Rodgers. Ernie Sims, second most sacks in Detroit with 9. He had 2 interceptions as well, a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Megatron, 97 catches, 1,264 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. Amon-Ra was 1 yard shy of making it. 2,000-yard receivers. Barnett, most tackles on the Packers, 9 deflections, an interception, half a sack. He did it all. Mark Shmura, 61 for 704 to go along with 3 receiving touchdowns. Love was spreading the ball around well. So was Cam Newton, 29 touchdowns, only 6 INTs, 72% completion percentage, 4,200 yards. He also rushed for 4 touchdowns. Kuechly, of course, led the way on defense, 114 tackles, 7 sacks, 4 INTs, 7 deflections, a forced fumble. Bruce Armstrong allowed 7 sacks on Drake May, but Gilmore had the most INTs on the Patriots, 3 of them, to go along with 10 pass deflections. The sack attack, Khalil Mack, second on the Raiders with 9.5. He had 18 tackles for a loss. And Randy Moss, 55 for 630 and 4 touchdowns. I guess they used him as a decoy. Will Witherspoon, 152 tackles. Might be the most in the league. He had 6 tackles for a loss, an interception, and 9 pass deflections. Meanwhile, Marshall Faulk, 1,385 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. Also 37 catches, 400 yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns. Haloti Ngata led the Ravens with 14 sacks, had 16 tackles for a loss. And Jonathan Ogden only allowed 2 sacks all season for the undefeated Ravens. Leroy Glover with 8 sacks, second in New Orleans. He had the most tackles for a loss though with 18. Meanwhile, Breeze had 34 touchdowns, 11 INTs, 70% completion percentage, 4,600 yards. And he also rushed for 2 touchdowns. Max Unger allowed 5 sacks on the season. And Sherman had 4 INTs, most in Seattle, along with 8 deflections, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Marvel Smith, 5 sacks allowed in Pittsburgh. But then Troy Polamalu, 91 tackles, 5 deflections, 3 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. Clowney had the second most sacks in Houston with 7. And they almost had 2,000-yard receivers. Hopkins, just under 100 yards away. He had 63 receptions, 7 receiving touchdowns, most on the Texans. Michael Griffin, most INTs in Tennessee with 3. He also had 6 pass deflections. And CJ 2K was pretty close to 1,500 yards. He had 9 rushing touchdowns, along with 1 more through the air. Randall McDaniels, 0 sacks allowed in Minnesota. And Jared Allen had 11 sacks, second most on the Vikings, 19 tackles for a loss, most on the team, along with a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. All right, let's look at the league leaders. Drew Brees, most passing yards. I knew he would feast in that offense. Olave, Kamara, Juwan Johnson, too much talent. Cam Newton in the top 10. Things you love to see. A lot of quarterbacks had great seasons because, you know, a lot of offensive lines improved, or they added some talent, you know, to their skill positions. Eli, 3,500 yards towards the bottom, but still a pretty decent season. Bo Nix, 3,000 yards the least. Hey man, that's the least in the league. That's not bad at all. Dak with the most touchdowns with 39. Mahomes second, Brees third, then Rodgers, Cousins. You can see everyone who threw at least 30. Tua had a nasty season, 31-2 ratio. That might be the best we've seen. Okay, wait a minute. Lamar and Purdy, 32-3. It might be slightly better, but these are nasty seasons. Like, the offense is feasted with the upgrades they got. Even the rookies were throwing the ball really well. Everyone had more touchdowns than interceptions. First time we've seen that in a while. Henry had the most rushing yards though, with Ogden leading the way for him. Mixon, with that improved wide receiver room, was able to run against light boxes. Jacobs, McCaffrey, JT, CJ2K in the top 10. Same with Marshall Faulk. And I believe those are the only 2 running backs we bought back. Here's everyone that had at least 1,000 rushing yards. Zach Moss, 1,000 on the dot. Henry, most touchdowns. Jacobs, Najee, Zeke, Pacheco, rounding out the top 5. It's going to be tough to stop Baltimore, man, but that's why they play the games. Chris Olave feasted with Breeze throwing him the football. By far the most receiving yards in the league. CD, Cooper, Travis Kelce, and Jamar rounding out the top 5. Megatron right outside the top 5. Marvin Harrison in the top 10. Tolbert on the Cowboys. So, hey, Dak definitely spread the ball around really well. Yeah, Josh Palmer step up since Herbert had a ton of time to throw with Lorenzo blocking for him. Here's everyone that had at least 1,000 receiving yards out on the run right there. 16 receiving touchdowns for Brandon Ayuk, most in the league. CD, and then a bunch of guys with 13. 22 and a half sacks for Jason Taylor, most in the league. Parsons right behind him. Bruce Smith right behind them. Michael Strahan, Quinnen, and then TJ Watt. You have Brackens in there. Von Miller, Leroy Glover. A lot of guys that we added making a difference. Glover, most tackles for a loss in the league. And you had a bunch of guys with 23. Khalil Mack with 21. Sapp up there as well. Jared Allen, most interceptions, 12 for Patrick Surtain. I mean, you had Vaughn rushing the quarterback, so they had to get rid of it quicker. And you see what the end result was. Ramsey with Jason Taylor rushing the quarterback had more opportunities. I'm guessing Sherman near the top. Same with Kuechly. Most deflections in the league. JLK and Jamel Dean. MVP goes to Lamar Jackson. Prescott right behind him. You have 2 and 3rd. Cam Newton, Andrew Breeze in the top 10. Lamar wins OPOY. His teammate Henry right behind him. DPOY goes to Bruce Smith. Jason Taylor ends up 2nd. Surtain ends up 3rd. Best QB Lamar. Best running back Henry. Wide receiver goes to Jamar. Humphrey wins best O lineman. Bruce wins best D lineman. And TJ best linebacker. Surtain, of course, best DB. In the NFC, Ayuk wins OPOY. DPOY goes to Parsons. Best QB goes to Dak. Running back to Jacobs. Wide receiver Ayuk. Randall McDaniel, of course, best O lineman. No sacks allowed. You had Parsons at D line. Van Ginkel at linebacker. Kuechly right behind him. And then Jalen Johnson, best DB. Here's the playoff bracket. The Ravens and the Cowboys, the 1 seeds. Here's how the wild card round played out. Texans lose to the Dolphins. Niners get obliterated by the Rams. 28-3. You have the Jets beat the Colts. Lions beat the Bucks. The Chiefs lose to the Buffalo Bills, so they have a chance to still go back-to-back. And then Minnesota beats New Orleans. My Super Bowl prediction is still alive. The Dolphins taking on Buffalo. The Lions taking on the Vikings. Why not watch one drive on offense from both of these teams? We're in the divisional round. Montgomery getting started with a nice run. 10 yards on that one. You see why the Detroit Lions are in this position. They're able to pass the ball with the best of them, and they still have a phenomenal run game. Play action. Golf.
What is that? What is that?
It's all good. Nobody's perfect, okay? I haven't seen one quarterback to ever throw 100% completion percentage. It's not possible. Montgomery gonna get the first down anyways. But eventually the Vikings are able to get off the field and hold Detroit to 3. Now it's time to see the rookie JJ McCarthy and Randall McDaniel, offensive lineman of the year, who has not allowed any sacks. Jones gets 2 yards on his first carry. Remember, Detroit added Ernie Sims to their linebacker core. Here he is on the D-line up against Hawkinson, but Aaron Jones still gonna get the first down. Good blocking. Go on quarter number 2. Oh, wow. McCarthy with a rookie mistake, thrown on the run across his body right to Brian Branch, intended for Aaron Jones. Nice leap and grab by the Lions DB. Even if the Vikings run ends here, it's still a nice season for the rookies. 17-14 heading into half number 2. They're keeping it close, but will it be enough? I mean, they cannot stop the Lions offense. Every time they touch it, it's a touchdown. And Detroit is headed to the next round. Nice job by McCarthy bouncing back after that early INT, but Goff was just flawless. 4 4 touchdowns, no INTs. Amon-Ra 2 touchdowns. Sherfield had 3 for the Vikings. Megatron had a touchdown as well, and his team is headed to the next round. Next matchup, we have the Jets and the Ravens. Rodgers with Kevin Mawai at center. Gonna start off with a run. Breece Hall going nowhere. Roquan Smith with Haloti Ngata on his D-line. There's a reason why this team went undefeated. Just stacked on both sides of the football. Roquan with another nasty play. 3rd and 11. The Jets have not gained positive yards yet. Empty backfield for Rodgers. Plenty of time to pass though. He's gonna throw on the run. That's a strike. Garrett Wilson with the first down. Breece Hall gonna get a lot of yards this time. Beautiful blocking. They're inside the 35. But once again, another defense being very stingy. Baltimore holds them to a field goal. Now it's Baltimore's turn. The offense that could not be stopped all season. Lamar going deep. Mandrews with a nice catch. They're already in Jets territory. Jets defense came to play as well, man. Let's see if they can get off the field. On the Ravens' first drive, read option. Lamar showing why he's MVP. Getting them inside the 5. Great tackle. Preventing the touchdown, but the very next play, Lamar gonna get it anyways. Baltimore making it look easy. They take the lead. So you can see the Jets are probably gonna have to get touchdowns to stay in it. Baltimore goes up 14-3. New York answers back with a touchdown, and now they end up taking the lead. Right before halftime, we got ourselves a good one. 31-28, 31 all. Ravens down 3. Could the undefeated season end here for the Baltimore Ravens? The Jets putting up a very good fight, trying to hold on to this lead. Lamar to Patrick Ricard, making this a 4th and 4. And yeah, I think that's the smart decision. Trust arguably the best kicker of all time. This should be a chip shot for him. Your best bet is trust that defense and try to take it to overtime. You already know in the playoffs, both teams will possess it. The Ravens get the toss, and they're going to get ball first. 3rd and 5, first possession for the Ravens in OT. And Henry cannot get their nice tackle by Mosley. They force a quick 3 and out. So now the Jets just need to get in field goal range, and that's a great way to do it. Rodgers to Williams, getting them another first down. They need a few more yards. Can they make it happen? No! Interception by Baltimore. It's not going to be a house call, but they're already in field goal range. Daryl Worley with the INT. Costly mistake by Aaron Rodgers. And here's Justin Tucker for the game winner. The Ravens' undefeated season continues. What a game. 34-37. Credit to the Jets for keeping it close. They played really well, man. Just a costly mistake right there in overtime by Rodgers. Mo Lewis half a sack. His team's going home, and Haloti Ngata's moving on. Back to the NFC. Looking at our next divisional round matchup. The Rams versus the Cowboys. LA off to a nice start. Cooper Kupp with a 19-yard reception. Remember, they added Marshall Faulk on offense. Meanwhile, the Cowboys added Leroy Glover to one of the best D-lines in football. And Marshall Faulk doesn't care about none of that. 6 yards on his first carry. Now, I do think the Rams O-line might struggle a little bit. They don't have any guys with abilities, and the Cowboys have 3 guys with abilities. There's one of them making a nice deflection. Leroy Glover stopping what would have been a first down right there. That could have been an easy reception. Instead, it's the 3rd down and 4. Faulk in the backfield. He's not going to get the ball. Instead, it's Puka Nacua moving the chains. Here comes Parsons, though. That D-line gonna get there eventually. He's gonna make this a 2nd and long. 3rd down and 20. Rams trying to make sure they don't get pushed back any further, but Parsons has other ideas. 4th and 29 after his 2nd sack of the game. And Los Angeles is gonna have to punt. Now here come the Cowboys with Larry Allen on that already phenomenal offensive line. CD with his first catch of the game. You have Will Witherspoon at linebacker for the Rams, looking to slow down this Cowboys offense. Dak getting hit as he throws it, but CD brings it in. However, he was out of bounds. Rams have a chance to force a quick 3 and out. Cowboys haven't even ran the ball yet, and they're going to throw an incompletion. Williams on the deflection. Dallas is going to punt as well. Could this be a low-scoring game? Even though both offenses are extremely talented, well, Cowboys started scoring, and they do not stop. Okay, 24 big ones in the first half, 31-7. Oh my goodness, did not expect this to be a blowout. Dallas completely dismantles the Los Angeles Rams. I thought their offense would at least be able to keep up, but that D-line of the Cowboys is pretty scary. Okay, they forced Matthew Stafford to throw 3 INTs. Dak threw 4 touchdowns, and this one was not close, man. Cooper Kupp did all he could along with Puka, but Parsons and company were just a little too much. And our final matchup in the divisional round, we have the Dolphins taking on the Bills. Remember, Miami had Mike Pouncey at center as their offensive upgrade. Mostert only gets 1 yard. Meanwhile, the Bills added Bruce Smith, the all-time sack leader in NFL history, to their defensive line, looking to go back-to-back. Tua completes his first pass. Mostert making someone miss, bringing up a 3rd and 6. See if Tua decides to go to Tyreek or Waddle. Here comes Bruce, and that D-line, they get to Tua. Rousseau with the sack. Could be the first of many in this one. It's starting field position for Josh Allen, Reuben Brown, and the defending champion Buffalo Bills, James Cook, with some really nice blocking in front of him, getting 7 yards. Miami upgraded their defensive line. Jason Taylor, it's a big reason why I chose them to make it to the Super Bowl. Here comes the blitz. Dawson Knox with the nice catch. Here comes another run. James Cook going nowhere. That's Jason Taylor with the nice tackle for a loss. He's not only elite at getting to the quarterback, he could also hold his own against the run. 2nd and 12. Here he is working against the right tackle. Back-to-back plays by Jason Taylor. This time it's the sack. Just taking over this game. I'm surprised he's not in the zone. 3rd and forever. Bills trying to get back in the field goal. They're not going to double team Jason Taylor, and they end up paying for it. He forces the fumble, gets to Josh Allen. Calais scoops it up, and the Dolphins have great field position. These guys are legends for a reason. You better put respect on their name. Now, the Dolphins don't get any points, even though they had that great field position. Credit to the Buffalo Bills defense. There's another interception by Teron Johnson. This is a close, low-scoring game in the 4th quarter. Buffalo can tie with a field goal and take the lead with a touchdown. Jason Taylor in the zone. Been so many turnovers in this one. Josh Allen gonna start off with a bullet. 4-man rush. He's gonna complete it to his receiver, Keon Coleman, getting them inside the 15. Bills end up getting in the field goal range and taking a 3 to tie this one up. And we might have another overtime. Buffalo gets ball first in overtime, but they're not able to do anything with it. Jason Taylor on 3rd down gets his 3rd sack of the game and forces the Bills to punt. So all the Dolphins have to do is get in field goal range. Tua's gonna do just that by finding Jalen Waddle. 4th and 1, they just need a field goal. Bro, this is why Madden pisses me off. They could win it right here. And instead, Tua's gonna go down. Bro, I hate this game. Yeah, we're just gonna sim to the end. That's just so dumb, man. They had the W. Like, luckily, they still ended up winning. But I mean, come on, man. How is this not fixed? I mean, oh man, that just ruined everything. But hey, they still got the dub. Still the same result. My Super Bowl pick can still happen. Jason Taylor with a monster game. Bruce Smith did all he could, but the Dolphins are moving on. However, they end up losing to the Ravens in the next round, and the Lions lose to the Cowboys, so neither of my picks make it. They came 1 game short. 23-17, we had another overtime game in the conference championship. Lamar and Tua, pretty identical stats. Andrews 2 touchdowns. Tyreek had a receiving touchdown. Taylor with no sacks this time, but he had 4 tackles for a loss. Meanwhile, Haloti Ngata with a tackle for a loss. No overtime. Dallas just beat them fair and square in regulation. Goff with 2 INTs. That pressure from the Cowboys, man. These are 2 of the most stacked rosters in this experiment. That nasty D-line from Dallas. Parsons with another multiple sack game. Him, Glover, and D-Law wreaking havoc. Ernie Sims in Detroit going home. Great season. Dallas, who went 14-3 on the season, taking on the undefeated Ravens. They have not lost the game all year. The best offense against the 2nd best offense. 2 top 10 defenses. This is a stacked matchup. Haloti Ngata and Jonathan Ogden from the Ravens taking on Leroy Glover and Larry Allen from the Cowboys. 2 legends added to both squads. Flowers getting 11 yards on his first catch, man. 2nd and 3. Derrick Henry not going to get his first carry as a flag. Lamar picks up a huge gain, but it's probably coming back. Yep, holding against the offense. Now it's a 2nd and 11. You don't want to be in a 3rd and long against this Cowboys pass rush. So hopefully Henry can help them get some yards. There we go. Make it a 3rd down and 8. Still going to have to deal with the 3 pass rushers. Luckily, you have Jonathan Ogden dealing with one of them. Ronnie Stanley on the other side. Lamar still almost throws a pick. Luckily for him, it's incomplete, and the Ravens are going to punt. 2 teams that upgraded their trenches on both sides of football are the 2 teams that made it to the big game, man. Cowboys sticking to that run game. Zeke only getting 1 yard, and just like that, they're going to abandon the run. Empty backfield, showing the Ravens that they're going to pass no matter what. Dak going deep down the field. That's a beautiful catch. He saw Tolbert in one-on coverage against the linebacker. Even Roquan couldn't cover him. My fault. That's Brandon Cooks with the nice play, and Dallas Dallas is the first team to score in this one. All right, we're going all the way to the end. I don't expect the Ravens to get blown out. I can't see that happening. Their roster is too good. And what did I say? 10-10 ball game, 17-10. Dallas staying with the lead, heading into halftime, 17-13. Now they're up multiple possessions. The Ravens keeping it close, only an 8-point game. Actually make it 31-16. Cowboys up. If the Ravens can cut it to one possession, we will hop in. But right now, it looks like they're struggling to make it happen. Wait a minute. We have a one possession game, people. Dallas with the only turnover in the game, and they're still winning. Onside kick attempt. Brandon Cooks, who got the first touchdown of the game, is going to end the game as well. And the winner of this video is the Dallas Cowboys. We did not have a repeat champion. First it was the Bills when one legend was brought back, but now it's the Dallas Cowboys with Larry Allen and Leroy Glover added to their trenches. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new around here, man. We love having fun bringing back old players and doing fun experiments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.